What's going on, you guys? My name's Alex Ramos. This is the MMA and Boxing Addicts channel. And you guys, Dana White has done it again. The same reason why I'm always talking about Turki Al-Shaki taking over boxing and making it what it used to be, absolutely great. It's because of Dana White and the UFC, you guys. If it wasn't for the UFC and Dana White, there would never be a Turki Al-Shaki, and none of these cards would be going down the way it is. Dana White has done it again. UFC 314, Alexander Volkanovski will be taking on Diego Lopez for the featherweight championship of the world, you guys. Ilia Topuria has decided that he is vacating the bout and he wants to move up to the 155-pound division to possibly take on the likes of Islam Makhachev. Daring to be great. But hey, we got ourselves a featherweight championship fight. These are my early predictions. This is the MMA Boxing channel. And here we go. Alexander Volkanovski is coming off those back-to-back knockout losses. Now, before that, a lot of people considered him the greatest featherweight champion in history, running through guys like Jose Aldo, Max Holloway 3 times, Yair Rodriguez, just beating everybody in his division to the point where he said, "No mas, I'm moving up to the lightweight division." He took on Islam Makhachev in one of the greatest performances in Volkanovski's career. I thought he won that fight, but hey, they gave it to Islam Makhachev. So be it. He comes back, gets that win over Yair Rodriguez. Guys, he gets the rematch with Islam Makhachev, but again, it was on 2-week notice. And what happened? He gets KO'd, absolutely dirty. The dirtiest KO, leg kick, followed up with some punches that we've ever seen Volkanovski suffer. And like I said, he just came off that loss with Ilia Topuria by knockout. Guys, he's coming off 2 back-to-back knockout losses. Now, one thing that I was paying attention to when I was trying to break down both guys, they both have a similar fighter that they've both fought, which is Brian Ortega. Now, if you look at Diego Lopez's last fight, that was against Brian Ortega, man. And he put on an absolutely beautiful display of striking, takedown defense. I mean, he absolutely battered Brian Ortega. There was not one chance in the fight where Brian Ortega looked like he was having success. No hard punches were getting landed. Not a single cut on Diego Lopez. In every single round, Diego Lopez dominated. He dropped him in every single round. The first round, dropped him in the first 10 seconds, beat the hell out of him. Second round, dropped him with a leg kick, battering him from the bottom to the top. Third round, to finish the fight, drop some big left hooks. Hey, man, Diego Lopez is a monster. This guy, his only loss in the UFC was his first fight ever. And who was it against? Movsar Evloev. I mean, come on. Everybody's going to lose against a Movsar Evloev. As you can see, Movsar just finished dominating Aljamain Sterling. You guys, Movsar Evloev is a wrestler, right? I think Alexander Volkanovski's only chance to win this fight, man, is I think he needs to shoot the takedowns, bro. If you look at Brian Ortega when he fought against Volkanovski, dude, he cut him in the first round. Guy was having success. Now, I know Brian Ortega ended up getting the shit beat out of him. I know. Volkanovski ended up destroying him. But in that last round, Brian Ortega showed a little bit of heart and success. Like I said, against Diego Lopez, there was absolutely zero success. Diego Lopez make this look easier than easy. And when I watched that fight against Volkanovski, yes, it was a 5-round fight, but that was Volkanovski in his prime. And Brian Ortega has some success. How? He caught him in a couple submission attempts, almost submitted him. You guys, Volkanovski coming off those losses. If he wants to win this fight, he's going to need a fight from the outside, use his head movement, great boxing. This guy has good stand-up. Yes, I know he's been knocked out twice, but before that, he's beat the hell out of guys like Max Holloway, dude. And Max Holloway is a tremendous striker. tremendous. The only guy to ever finish him was Ilia Topuria in his last fight. You guys, Alexander Volkanovski in this fight, he may be able to strike with Diego Lopez in the 4th or the 5th round, because I have a feeling the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, Diego Lopez is so fresh, so powerful. I think he's going to have success, you guys. And I think Diego Lopez might win this fight by KO. But again, if it reaches the 4th and 5th round, championship rounds, Volkanovski rounds, you guys, Volkanovski could end up taking this dub, man. I do think his striking is great, but I do think his chin is very, very suspect now. That's what scares me in this fight. He should be able to beat a guy like Diego Lopez. He should. But Diego Lopez is a knockout, relentless pressure fighter who just comes forward and just wants to fight with you, and he just throws haymakers at every single punch, man. He tightens up and throws haymakers. Now, he is open for the counter. But like I said, I just don't believe in Volkanovski no more. I'm a huge fan of Volkanovski. I'm a huge fan of him. Me and my girlfriend love Volkanovski. Dude, I love Alexander Volkanovski. And low-key, I kind of hope he wins this fight. But guys, against Diego Lopez, this young phenom, Volkanovski coming off back-to-back losses, I'm going to have to give it to Diego Lopez. And for the co-main event, we got Paddy the Baddy taking on Michael Chandler, you guys. Another blockbuster event. Exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to Dana White and stacking these cards. Who do I think is going to win this fight? I'm getting straight into this one, you guys. It's my early predictions, you guys. I think Paddy the Baddy's going to win this fight. Michael Chandler does what he always does. He's coming off that loss to Charles Oliveira where he got absolutely dominated every single round leading up into the 5th round, you guys. And you guys know he does what he does. In the 5th round, he almost gets the stoppage. He almost gets the knockout victory over Charles Oliveira. The ref doesn't stop it. He lands about 10 behind the headshots. Boom, hammer fist. Boom, boom, boom. 10 to the side of the head. You guys, he almost got it done. But again, he lost. He's 1-4 in his last 5 fights. It's not looking good for Michael Chandler. He was supposed to fight McGregor. We waited for about a year and 6 months. He thought that fight was going to happen. That fight didn't end up happening. He ended up fighting Charles Oliveira, got dominated, and now he's fighting the vicious Paddy the Baddy, a guy who everybody doubted. Everybody said he wasn't going to be able to beat Bobby Green. And what happens, you guys? He goes in there and absolutely destroys Bobby Green. In the 1st round, his striking looked improved than what it did in his last couple of fights. It actually looked improved. Way better than it looked against Gordon, you guys. Hey, Paddy the Baddy ended up just getting that submission win in the 1st round, which was completely unexpected. I didn't expect that to happen, but I expected him to win that fight. But I know the whole UFC world was doubting him, and I'm not doubting him this time. I believe Paddy the Baddy is set up to be great. And I don't know if it's just him, but there's something spiritual behind him or something. I believe Paddy Baddy is going to get this done. Now, don't get me wrong. Michael Chandler does have a chance, you guys. It is possible. He can come forward and land one of those huge hooks in the 1st round, drop Paddy the Baddy. But hey, there's something telling me that this is going to be Paddy the Baddy's night. I won't be surprised if Michael Chandler gets the knockout. So that's why I'm not going to be betting on either fighter to win in this fight. What I'm picking this fight to not go the distance, you guys. I do not feel like this fight is going the distance at all. I think either fighter might knock each other out with a left hook. Either fighter is going to knock each other out with a left hook. They're either going to be exchanging, and they're both going to land left hooks. Boom, and drop each other at the same time, because that's what kind of type of fighters these guys are. Now, that's probably not going to happen, but like I said, I think one of these fighters is going to win by left hook, knockout, or Paddy the Baddy's going to get the takedown, because in that fight with Michael Chandler and Charles Oliveira, Charles Oliveira got many, many takedowns. I think there's going to be a way for Patty Batty to set up the striking, feint, change levels, get the takedown, possibly get the submission victory. But I think somebody's going to get knocked out no matter what. I got this fight not going the distance. That's my best bet for the whole night. And before the main event and the co-main event, we got ourselves another blockbuster event, man. Patricio Pitbull, ex-2 title holder from Bellator, ex-former featherweight champion from Bellator, is making his UFC debut. And who's he taking on? You guys, he's taking on El Mexicano, El Monstruo, Yair Rodriguez, you guys. Hey, man, this fight is going to be action-packed, guaranteed. Yair Rodriguez coming off of 2 back-to-back losses. I know that sounds kind of bad, but who are they against? Brian Ortega and Alexander Volkanovski, 2 UFC A-level top fighters in the whole entire world, you guys. And Patricio Pitbull, he's 1-2 in his last 3 fights. He's coming off that win over Jeremy Kennedy, but before that, he has 2 losses and he got knocked out in Rising, you guys. Patricio Pitbull, he does have a shot in this fight to get a knockout win. He's knocked out guys like Michael Chandler. He's beaten guys like AJ McKee. But I have a feeling when you look at their resumes, man, Yair Rodriguez has been facing higher level fighters and he's been fighting in the UFC for longer. Dude, he has 9 fight win bonuses. This guy comes in action packed. He's a fan favorite. Patricio Pitbull, yes, he has a bunch of wins. Yes, he's the featherweight champion of the Bellator, but that's in Bellator. Like I said, his last win was over Jeremy Kennedy. Now he's stepping up and facing Yair Rodriguez. I got a feeling Yair Rodriguez is going to win this fight, you guys. I got Yair Rodriguez. That's who I'm picking. But I won't be surprised if Patricio gets a knockout or a knockdown in the fight, or at least tries. I have a feeling, though, Yair Rodriguez is going to piece him up. Leg kicks, kicks from the outside, and get that victory. Possibly a decision victory, you guys. But like I said, those 3 fights right there, absolutely amazing. Dana White. And check out this main card, you guys. You got Dan Ige taking on Sean Woodson. Nikitai Krylov taking on Dominic Reyes. Chase Hooper taking on Jim Miller. Yan Xiaonan taking on Verna Zimbinis. Hey, man. And, dude, you got Carlos Prates taking on Geoff Neal. The action we're going to get on this card, Dana White, let's give him a round of applause. Absolutely amazing. Some breaking news right there, man. Those are my quick predictions. Hey, I do think Chase Hooper is going to win that fight. I'm going to pick Dominic Reyes to beat Nikitai Krylov with my heart. That's picking with my heart right there, you guys. I think Carlos Prates is going to knock out Geoff Neal. I think he's going to finish him, you guys. It's hard to finish Geoff Neal. I think Carlos Prates is going to do it. I think Yan Xiaonan, the Chinese girl, is going to be able to beat Verna. And you guys, those are my quick early predictions, you guys. UFC 314. If you stayed this long, thank you so much, man. Like the video, subscribe, and I'm out of here, man. I can't wait.